Everything you're looking for: success, clarity, freedom, is already within your reach. So why do so many people stay stuck in the same problems? The answer lies in how you align yourself with life. DEVI isn't just a belief or a concept. She's a living force that can completely transform your existence. If you learn how to connect with this energy, you'll experience changes beyond what your mind can even imagine. What happens when you tap into this grace? Few people know, but those who do are never the same again. Life isn't just random chaos, it follows a structured play of forces: tamas, rajas, and sat. Tamas is inertia, the heaviness that keeps you stuck in repetition and resistant to change. It's like trying to wake up early when your body just wants to stay in bed. Rajas, on the other hand, is movement. It's the fire that pushes you to act, like that moment when you finally get up and go after what you want. Then there's sat, transcendence. It's when the mind becomes still and you realize you're not just a piece on the chessboard, you are the chessboard. These three forces reflect the cosmic structure: Earth with its stability, the sun as the source of energy and action, and the moon representing the highest state of consciousness. Most people are stuck in a loop between tamas and rajas without even realizing it's, cycling between inertia and bursts of frantic energy. If you've ever tried to change a habit, you've seen this firsthand: procrastinating for days, tamas, then suddenly diving into a productivity frenzy, rajas, only to eventually slip back into old patterns. The key is cultivating sat, the state where you break the cycle and access something higher. How? By becoming conscious of your patterns, breaking old habits, and making clear, intentional choices. A practical example: instead of bouncing between laziness and burnout, build a daily routine that creates balance, whether it's meditation, sadhana, or simply setting rituals that anchor your mind. But what if transcendence isn't some far-off goal? What if it's something you can cultivate right here, right now? Think of your life as a car. Tamas is driving with the parking brake on, rajas is stepping on the gas with no control, and sat is driving with awareness, knowing exactly where you're headed. What keeps most people from reaching sat is a lack of clarity about their own path. And this is where recognizing the forces shaping your reality becomes crucial. But the journey doesn't stop there, because these same forces also shape how we connect with the divine. The feminine divine manifests in different ways, each reflecting a core human desire. When someone seeks power and the destruction of obstacles, they invoke Kali, the raw force that shatters barriers. If the goal is prosperity and abundance, Lakshmi is the way, representing wealth and well-being. And for those who long for wisdom and transcendence, Saraswati is the guide, offering intelligence that lifts the mind beyond illusions. The spiritual evolution process follows the same path: first, breaking through inertia, Kali, then seeking material fulfillment, Lakshmi, and finally reaching liberation through knowledge, Saraswati. This cycle isn't just mystical, it's a practical reflection of the human journey. Take an entrepreneur, for example. In the beginning, they face resistance and obstacles. They need Kali's energy to break through barriers. Once they push past that phase, their focus shifts to expanding resources and achieving stability, following Lakshmi's principle. But if they stop there, they become nothing more than wealth accumulators without a deeper purpose. The final stage, Saraswati, is where they realize that knowledge and clarity are more valuable than any fortune. True success isn't just about achieving, it's about knowing what to do with what you've achieved. So, where are you in this process? Many people never move past the first stage, stuck in a constant struggle without realizing that the next step requires a shift in mindset. Others get lost chasing money, unaware that material abundance without clarity can become just another trap. The full journey requires recognizing which force is driving your life and knowing when it's time to shift. But there's something even deeper behind this. Just like individuals, the entire universe moves through these cycles, flowing between action, and rest. Everything in the universe follows a rhythm: expansion and contraction, action and rest. Galaxies spin, oceans rise and fall. Even the human body cycles between intense activity and recovery. This cyclical movement isn't just a feature of existence. It's a fundamental law of life. Without moments of inertia, chaos would take over. Without moments of action, nothing would evolve. Yet few people realize that the key to breaking free from this cycle isn't to fight it, it's to learn how to transcend it. Those who grasp this concept are no longer just drifting in life's tides, they learn how to surf them. The problem is that most people get stuck at the extremes. Some stay in tamas, clinging to inertia, procrastinating, and avoiding change. Others are always in Rajas mode, constantly moving without direction, mistaking activity for progress. Balance comes when you understand that both action and rest are just tools, not final destinations. Think of an athlete. They don't train non-stop, but alternate between effort and recovery. In the same way, knowing when to push forward and when to step back is an essential skill in life. Those who master this act at the right moment and avoid unnecessary burnout. But there's an even higher level: breaking free from the cycle itself. Transcendence happens when you realize that neither action nor rest is the ultimate goal, they're just stepping stones. When you learn to observe your life from the outside, like a mindful spectator, you start seeing the patterns that keep you stuck, and you can break them. It's like understanding the plot of a movie before it ends. And this is exactly where certain forces can accelerate your journey, just like the feminine energy of Linga Bhairavi. Linga Bhairavi isn't just a symbolic representation of the feminine divine, she's a living presence, a vibrant force that responds to your intention. Unlike other expressions of the sacred, this energy doesn't operate with cold neutrality. If you align with her through devotion and clarity, your journey becomes smooth, guided by an invisible force that clears obstacles from your path. But if you approach with doubt or half-hearted commitment, the same energy can magnify your struggles. It's like a powerful machine. When used correctly, it multiplies your potential. When handled without understanding, it amplifies confusion. You can see this dynamic play out in everyday life. When someone fully commits to a goal, whether it's a career, a relationship, or a deeper purpose, things start to align effortlessly. But when there's hesitation, energy scatters and obstacles multiply. In the spiritual realm, Bhairavi works the same way. Many people report that once they connect with her, their internal processes accelerate, old patterns surface, changes happen fast, and clarity sharpens. But the real question is, are they truly ready for this transformation? Because this energy doesn't distinguish between genuine longing and casual curiosity. That's why the first thing to cultivate on this path is clarity. What do you truly want? Are you willing to pay the price of transformation? Many people crave change, but few are ready to let go of the comfort of stagnation. Bhairavi doesn't offer shortcuts, only acceleration. If your focus is strong, the journey becomes intense yet deeply rewarding. But without clarity, this energy will only amplify internal chaos. And that's exactly why understanding the power of clarity is so crucial before stepping onto this path. Clarity isn't just a luxury, it's the foundation of real progress. Imagine an archer trying to hit a target, but changing direction with every shot. That's exactly what happens to those who lack a clear vision of what they truly want. On the spiritual path, this lack of definition can be even more dangerous, because heightened states of consciousness amplify everything the right direction, as well as inner confusion. If someone approaches Bhairavi's energy without a firm purpose, she doesn't respond with neutrality. She magnifies whatever is already present. You see this in life all the time. Think of people who jump from one goal to another, excited at first, but quick to give up at the first challenge. Without steady focus, energy disperses. The same is true for spirituality. Without clarity, the search becomes an endless cycle of experiences without real integration. It's like trying to learn 1,000 things at once, but never mastering any of them. On the other hand, those with clarity move fast because their energy is channeled toward a single point. That's what separates those who achieve real transformation from those who simply experiment. So, how do you cultivate this clarity? First, by eliminating distractions. Every choice should align with your greater intention. Second, by learning to observe your own mind, identifying patterns that pull you away from what truly matters. And third, by applying structured practices that help stabilize your direction, like sadhana. Because when there's clarity, the journey stops being about trial and error and becomes a path of continuous evolution. And this is exactly where sadhana becomes indispensable. Sadhana isn't just a ritual or some random practice. It's the technology of inner transformation. In a world obsessed with speed and instant results, the idea of cultivating a daily discipline seems outdated. But the truth is, anyone who masters any area of life, whether spiritual or material, does so through consistency. Just like an athlete doesn't expect to get in shape without training daily, someone seeking personal growth can't expect real change without a structured sadhana. This is the difference between someone who merely wishes to grow and someone who fully commits to that growth. The biggest flaw of modern society is ignoring the organic intelligence that sadhana brings. People spend their lives trying to fix external problems, not realizing that many of them originate from within. The chaos of the mind, lack of clarity, emotional heaviness, all of this could be dissolved if the body and mind were aligned. And sadhana is that bridge. Practices like Bhairavi sadhana, Isha kriya, or even something as simple as sitting in silence for a few minutes each day can completely transform the way someone experiences life. But the real key is total commitment. Practicing sadhana mechanically won't bring results. The practice has to be a deep dive, not a chore. Those who truly surrender to it experience shifts that go beyond the mind. Their very energy starts organizing itself in a different way. It's an alignment process that makes everything feel effortless. And the simpler the practice, the deeper the impact, because simplicity holds a hidden sophistication that most people overlook. The human mind has a strange tendency. It believes that the more complex something is, the more powerful it must be. But in reality, true sophistication lies in simplicity. And this is even more evident in sadhana. The way you sit, breathe, and move determines the quality of your energy and, in turn, the quality of your life. Yet, people chase elaborate techniques, ignoring the fact that something as simple as sitting with a straight spine can completely transform their perception and mental clarity. The problem has never been a lack of tools, it's the resistance to trusting in what is simple. Consider someone who wants to improve their health. They might chase complicated diets, expensive supplements, and intense workout programs, but simply drinking enough water and getting proper sleep would already make a huge difference. The same applies to spirituality. Small actions done consistently are far more powerful than intense practices done sporadically. That's why those who truly evolve spiritually aren't necessarily the ones who know the most, but the ones who deeply apply what they know. Even something as simple as a daily pranayama practice can completely shift the way you interact with the world. But here's the key point. Simplicity only becomes powerful when there is total dedication. A simple practice done without involvement becomes meaningless. But when done with full commitment, it can open doors the intellect could never reach. And this is exactly where Bhairavi sadhana becomes essential, because it doesn't just work on the body or mind, it develops something even more crucial: emotional intelligence. The modern world overvalues the intellect and undervalues emotions. But the truth is, emotional intelligence is what truly defines the quality of a person's life. Have you ever seen incredibly smart people destroy relationships, businesses, and opportunities simply because they don't know how to handle their emotions. Bhairavi Sadhana not only strengthens the body and mind, it refines emotions, allowing someone to navigate life with greater sensitivity and balance. Instead of reacting impulsively, they start responding with clarity, completely transforming their experience. The intellect by itself separates, it dissects, analyzes, and divides. But emotions, when properly cultivated, connect and expand. However, without guidance, they can become a constant source of turmoil. This is exactly where sadhana comes in. Instead of trying to control emotions, it transforms them. It's like tuning a musical instrument. When your energy is in harmony, everything around you starts falling into sync as well. People who once seemed irritating, situations that once felt suffocating, suddenly lose their emotional weight over you. But the most incredible part is that this shift doesn't happen through logic, it happens through direct experience. Sadhana doesn't teach you to think differently, it changes how you feel on the inside. And this internal shift inevitably reflects in the external world. Those who walk this path begin to notice that life flows more smoothly, as if something invisible is guiding each step. And at its core, this is the true essence of devotion, not blind belief, but a surrender so deep that it transforms the very nature of your being. Devotion isn't submission, it's a state of merging with something greater. Many people mistake devotion for blind idolization, but in reality, it's a powerful process of dissolving the ego. When someone fully surrenders to something, whether it's a practice, a master, or an idea, it creates a deep alignment that transcends the rational mind. In Bhairavi Sadhana, this process happens naturally. After 21 days of intense practice, it's not just the practitioner who changes, the very space around them shifts. True devotion isn't about rituals or beliefs. It's an internal reconfiguration so profound that the external world starts to reorganize in response. You can see this in any area of life. A true artist doesn't try to create, they become the expression of creativity itself. A fully committed athlete doesn't have to push themselves to train, training becomes part of who they are. In the same way, someone who dives deep into devotion doesn't have to try to be spiritual. Spirituality becomes a natural extension of their being. Transformation happens because internal resistance disappears, allowing energy to flow freely. But this surrender isn't temporary, it's a state of being. The problem most people face is that they commit halfway to things, then get frustrated when they don't see results. Devotion is what separates someone who merely experiments with something from someone who becomes it. And when this merging happens, everything that once seemed important, wins and losses, success and failure, becomes irrelevant. Because those who truly align with Bhairavi enter a state where nothing can bind them. When someone deeply aligns with DEVI, all the things that once felt crucial, success or failure, wealth or poverty, life or death, lose their grip. This doesn't mean they become indifferent to life, but that their experience is no longer dictated by external circumstances. Those who truly surrender to DEVI's grace find a state where no situation can shake their inner peace. Real freedom isn't about avoiding challenges, it's about reaching a place where nothing can destabilize you. Think about how much energy people waste trying to control the uncontrollable, worrying about money, status, recognition, without realizing that all of it is temporary. Aligning with DEVI dissolves that illusion. This doesn't mean abundance and material success stop existing, but they no longer have power over your inner experience. That's why some people seem to walk through life's storms with unshakable calm, while others collapse at the slightest setback. The difference is in their inner anchor, and that level of stability only comes through total surrender. But here's the part most people don't understand. This freedom isn't achieved through intellect, it's experienced. It's not about gathering more knowledge or accumulating spiritual concepts, but about allowing grace to reorganize the very structure of your being. And that's exactly what turns the spiritual journey from an exhausting struggle into a natural process. Now, the choice is yours. You can keep trying to figure everything out on your own, fighting life's ups and downs, or you can align with something greater and let transformation happen effortlessly. When you connect with DEVI the right way, limitations disappear and the impossible becomes reality. So, are you ready to take this step? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel to keep learning on this journey.